Hey, what's up guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we have a performance review on the Jordan CP3.VIII. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright guys, so here we go with the traction. We do have primarily herringbone, which is awesome. However, it's just not quite as aggressive as we've seen on the CP3.6 and the C3P. However, it's just not quite as aggressive as we've seen on the past two models. You have these little potted sections here, which are great, and then the toe-offs have this stuff, which we've seen on the Superfly 3 and the Jordan 29, and I mean, it works okay, but it is embedded underneath, so upon toe-offs, you're really striking this area of the rubber where you can see some fraying right there versus the actual toe piece, so I wasn't too thrilled with that. If there's any dust on the court, it really affects these guys in a negative way. You got to just constantly wipe in order to get adequate traction, but if it is a cleaner surface, you're pretty much okay, so it's not too bad, depending on the court condition. As far as outdoor use, I wouldn't wear these outside at all. One, the rubber's really soft, and two, it just didn't grip really at all. I was pretty disappointed with these on the outdoor surface. As far as cushion is concerned, we have heel cushion one more time. We haven't had that since the 5. And with this guy here, you have a targeted lunar lawn section, which you can see is in a pod. It's really, really comfortable. If you do happen to heel strike, or if you're just running like at a fast pace in transition, these things are super fluid and very comfortable. And then up at the forefoot, you do have a full size Nike zoom unit, which is awesome. So while there are pods here, it's not an isolated zoom unit like we saw in the 7. This is an actual forefoot zoom bag, covers the entire area of the forefoot, and then these pods really help activate it. So when you're running in these things, especially on your toe, it's just a really, really comfortable and responsive ride. As far as materials, we have a mixture between all of this fuse textile on the mid panels, and then we do have this rubber wrap all the way around most of the shoe, along with hits of flight web for the lacing system. Now the fuse is extremely durable, as is the rubber panels. This stuff really kind of like, it shows a lot of wear and tear, but it keeps the material itself protected. And while everything starts out incredibly stiff, with a little bit of break in time, everything softens up quite a bit, and I didn't really have a problem with it like I did with the Superfly 3. I am hoping that we do get an AE model though. I'm hoping that they go with a more raw materials for that model instead of the synthetics. They've kind of been alternating. The CP3.6 started with fuse just like this, and then went to raw materials for the AE. And then the 7 started with raw materials and then went to synthetics, and I hope that it just kind of continues that pattern where we have fuse now, and then later on we get some raw materials. As far as their fit, I thought initially they fit a half a size small. They sent me a size 9.5. I usually wear a 9, and when I tried them on, they fit incredibly snug, especially right down here at the forefoot. But once you start playing in these things and start breaking them in, the more I played in them, the more I wish that it was a size 9. Lengthwise, I was pretty much okay, but I still could have gone down that half a size. It was mostly the space, like around the foot here. I had to really tighten up these shoes as tight as I could in order to get the best lockdown possible. Luckily, the flight web system, you can actually feel it when your shoe is a little bit too big for you. And so while they seem like they're just kind of like a gimmick, like dynamic flywire and things like that, it actually does help hold your foot onto the footbed. It's something that usually goes unnoticed, but they don't put all of this tech and research into their shoes if they don't know what they're doing. So when they're doing something like this, it's for an actual purpose, even though it is a little bit gimmicky. But at the same time, everything's a gimmick, whether it be the colorway, the tech that they use for the cushion, or even the lacing system and calling it flight web. But the best part is that it actually works, so if it's a gimmick and it works, then hats off. As far as the back section goes, these things fit like great. I really loved how they feel from the ankle back. The little ankle pillow didn't cause any slipping or anything like that. It just kind of cupped the ankle and the Achilles portion of my foot perfectly. And then the rubber heel counter right here just kind of kept everything in place from shifting side to side. Ventilation isn't the best. This really isn't breathable. Neither is the tongue. You know, it is what it is. It didn't bother me. I didn't get really any blisters or anything like that. But it is something to where if you enjoy ventilation or some airflow, this is probably not going to be the best option for you. As far as support, most of that comes from the upper and the fit. Again, mine were just a little bit too big for me, but it still supported me pretty nicely. So going with your regular true size, I think that you'd be perfectly fine. The flight web system does its job perfectly, as does the TPU rubber counter here that you can see that runs full length on the lateral side. There is a small outrigger here, doesn't do much, and practically goes unnoticed. And then at the midfoot, there is an internal TPU shank for torsional support. Alright guys, that pretty much takes care of everything. Personally, it's not my favorite CP3 model. I really love the 6 and the 7 quite a bit more. mostly because of the upper, and then the traction on these guys wasn't quite up to par as the last two models. They're really comfortable though, so their cushion is unbelievably awesome, and then you do have heel cushion once more, which we haven't seen since the CP3.5. I am looking forward to the AE version, however, so hopefully they end up doing one of those for the playoffs, because I'm expecting a material change along the upper. So maybe if you are interested in these guys, you can be a little bit more patient, wait till the summer season, and they'll come out with something new. These are available now for anyone interested. You can get them anywhere pretty much over at like Foot Locker, Finish Line, etc. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. Make sure to check out my site, WearTesters.com, for all your performance needs. And until next time, guys, have a good one.